Hey there, everyone. Good to see you all. Well, no Robert Monroe tape done today, but I did have a pretty full day, I suppose. So let's go ahead and start from beginning to end. So I was woken up at around like 7:30 in the morning by my mom. She was asking about if I took the trash out, and I said yes, I did. So she was relieved to hear that. And then I went and drifted back to sleep till around 12 when I woke up. And when I got up, my mom and sister were on their phones in the den. So I was walking there and trying to figure out, what should I do? Um, and then I got a text from my middle sister who, sent this text to the family chat showing this really cool print of the Land Before Time that she recently did. And I really liked it, so I told her that it looked really beautiful. Um, so that was pretty cool. And then I let my sister and my mom know. They checked that out. They thought it was cool too. And then I was reminded that, oh yeah, I want to see that new Odyssey movie in on 70 millimeter IMAX. So I tried to see if there was any cheap way of getting the tickets. I went on Fandango, and right when I was about to purchase the tickets, they had this new offer saying that if you are a member of Fandango for for $10 a month, then they'll give you your first movie ticket free. And they said, "Oh, you're going to see the Odyssey? Well, here you go, the $10 for membership, and you get to see this movie free." So I was like, "All right." So I thought I would get that, and then I told my sister and my mom about it, and I said, "Yeah, I guess we could cut the price down from $33 to $10." So you know, I my mom wanted to see the movie with me and my sister and my middle sister because we actually all talked about seeing it together. And so I tried to walk her through the whole experience of trying to get a Fandango account and then, you know, getting the seat and then accepting the offer. And then we finally clicked the accept button. And after we hit the finish payment, I had said that your payment was declined, try again, or choose a different show time. So, we tried again and it still didn't work. So we looked up the potential reason for why, and apparently the deal excludes the 70 millimeter IMAX showing because it's such an expensive showing that the theater needs to make back the revenue they spent on getting the 70 millimeter print in the theater. So they pretty much need to charge that full price. I even tried getting it on Tuesday, um, on the 11th of August, and yeah, despite being half off ticket sales for every other movie, specifically for the Odyssey, the ticket prices were pretty much the exact same. So that's kind of a bummer, not gonna lie. That means we have to pay full price for the tickets, which isn't great because they're really expensive. So, I decided I was getting really hungry, so I made some pizza. Um, it was leftover pizza from yesterday that I heated on the pan and put a covering on top and re-moisturized with a water, dash of water being heated on the surface of the pan, creating steam for the pizza. I had 2 slices. They were really good. I had a squirt soda to go along with that. And yeah, went off to work. I got dressed and ready to go. I said goodbye to my mom and my sister and our family friend. I told them all 3 that I love them. And I drove off to work. And yeah, when I arrived, I greeted everyone. I punched in. I was told that one of our co-managers, it was going to be their last day at the specific store because they were being transferred to another store. And apparently there is another co-manager, so it's not just one co-manager, but 2 co-managers that are also being transferred to a different store and being replaced with another co-manager from a completely different store as well. So yeah, it's going to be weird because both of these co-managers I've worked with since I would say probably around late 2022 or early 2023. So them going is going to be sort of a unexpected change that I wasn't expecting. That was redundant, but yeah, it was quite a culture shock to hear that. But yeah, tis life. People come and go, you know. But yeah, I spent my day doing sweeps and produce. The break room, I saw one of my coworkers, who's the cashier, who's worked at the store for longer than anyone else has, and I also met with another coworker who said that they will be leaving as well in the near future. I think they said around March, so it's not an immediate leaving, but it is relatively soon. And the reason is because apparently they have extended family where they're going, and the person they are living with their parents, so the parents want to go there. So yeah, so yeah, their days are numbered. It is weird, you have that anchor person who's been at the store for a really long time, and then you have these people who are kind of like coming and going. It's a pretty interesting atmosphere. Not gonna lie, it's like there are quite a few individuals working at the store as of right now who have been around since I've been there. Um, a few that are relatively recent. The interesting thing is we used to get new hirees relatively often, but there was a certain point where the CEO and the corporate decided to stop hiring entry level positions. And ever since they decided to do that, the well of new people who come in after being hired has pretty much dried up. So it's just, and then they give the people who are still there even more stuff to do. So it's a pretty interesting time period, that's for sure, how things are going. Yeah, and after hearing that interesting news, I punched in my sweeps. I swept the store floor, and just the produce floor, and continued punching sweeps. And I did do some bagging with the cashier who's been working in the store for the longest, and we got in this weird conversation. I don't even know how we got into it, about have you ever had sour cream in your coffee? And I said no, and then I said no. It's I wonder if we can find at least one person in the whole store who's ever put sour cream in coffee. We asked quite a few customers, and a lot of them said no, it sounds really disturbing and gross. We had at least one person who said, I'll try anything. And then we had another person who said, I'm always up for a new experience. And then there was another person where my cashier coworker, he stated that like I drink coffee with sour cream to this customer, and the customer was like, "Whoa, oh, but this sounds weird," and then like I decided to play into the bit. I was like, "Yeah, it's actually really good. Don't knock it till you try it." And then the person genuinely seemed like they actually like thought I was being real because they were like, "Well, I'm gonna try it when I get home." And I was like, "Oh, should I tell them?" Or, I don't know. And then they left, and I had to go on to the next customer. I don't know. It's kind of a weird situation, but well, I guess we'll see what happens there. If there's any updates to the sour cream and coffee saga, I'll let you know. Yeah, and then after that, I ended up taking out all the trashes. I yeah, refilled bags in check stands. I punched out for lunch. I bought another turkey sub sandwich. Went upstairs with it. Had that with some chips and a beverage that I brought with me from home, which was a 7-Up Tropical Zero Sugar, which was really good. And I watched this video from a YouTube channel where they decided to make all the SpongeBob characters, edible. I talked about this in an earlier video, but I continued the video today. Yeah, it was like many different, characters from Barnacle Boy with like barnacles being eaten, which is interesting. Apparently, they weren't bad according to the hosts. There was there was Bubble Bass, which was like described as being all right. There was Fred the Fish, which was considered like really good, except for the whole leg part. The actual fin wasn't considered that good, but the meat from the fish itself was considered good. Mr. Krabs and Larry the Lobster apparently got the most praise, like they were considered the absolute best of the best, which was funny. And then there was the chocolate fish, the chocolate that got like an A. And there was like but apparently they really wanted to give an S, but they felt like that would have been too many S's. And then there was the the anchovies. Yeah, so lots of different fish that were explored for sure. It was a very entertaining, very funny, very interesting video. And the food looked delicious, really good. Honestly, kind of made me hungry even though I was eating. Then after the meal and the video, I returned back to work, punched back in, finished. Oh yeah, and I did say goodbye to one of the co-managers. That was their last day. I gave them a salute and take care. And that was I bought my last sub from them for lunch. So yeah, interesting. Okay, so I returned back, and I wish them all the best. So I returned back for my lunch break. I punched back in. I filled up the rest of the bags in the check stands. My coworker brought in the carts and signs. Very grateful about that. Thank you so much. I took out all the trash. I had to bring in an extra box of bags because there was still some, bags that need to be filled left. So that needed to be done. I did a whole lot of go backs, whole lot of bagging. I had to wipe down all the check stands in the last half hour, which was a lot. Had to clear a lot. Did a little bit more go backs. Wiped down the remaining check stands once the entire store was clear. And then I said goodnight to my coworkers, co-managers. I punched out. I went to my car. I remember I was being walked out by one of the commanders, and they said, "Whoa, look at the moon." And I said, "Yeah, I want to go there in a rocket to see what I can see." And they were like, "Bye." And they closed the door. It was pretty interesting. And then I went in my car. I drove home. When I arrived home, I checked the fridge to see if there was anything to eat. There was this like spaghetti, like cut up kind of dish in the fridge, so I had that. I heated in the microwave. Had some 7-Up Zero Sugar Tropical to go with that. Continued watching the SpongeBob food video. I already described everything I already saw in it. It's very interesting. Then, after I was done eating, I got a second helping of it. It was pretty good, but I put some Parmesan and truffle seasoning on top. It was nice. And a little bit of butter in there, which had a nice fattiness to it. And then I watched a new video from one of my favorite YouTube content creators, Emp Lemon, on his secondary channel, Downward Diary, where he was basically talking about how it feels like more modern, like YouTube videos are made solely for like just viewer retention and have a serious lack of being spiritually or like, truly fulfilling in a way that is actually substantial and meaningful. So yeah, it was a very interesting video. I really enjoyed that one. I like it when people are passionate about keeping things like of a high bar. And yeah, I was listening to a Jesse Michaels video where he was talking with a real physicist about the potential of like secret, like crafts and UFOs being spotted in NASA photos and structures on Mars and on the moon. But it was starting to get quite late, and so I decided to take my vitamins, brush my teeth, turn the video off, and make this video. So that's pretty much the day in a nutshell. It was pretty good. Yeah, that's about all I gotta say about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.